Great to have Dirk Demol on. Dirk, we used to call him. Well, I won't say.
Hey, Dirk.
I won't say. Look at him. Look at him.
He gets younger every year.
Man, the guy is reverse aging.
Yes. Congratulations, Dirk.
Thank you. I'm just shining. It's so great to be here again, part of a tour stage win.
All right, everybody, welcome back to the Move podcast, brought to you each and every day by Ketone IQ, talking about stage.
Did you say the pad Thai cast?
You know, we're in the. I'm not even going to cut. We're going to roll with this. We're deep.
We're loopy.
Deep into the third week.
7 or 8 on the spicy scale. Today we'll go 10 on the spice.
Deep into the third week, and you know what? These guys are tired, and so are we. So yeah, it's hard to talk and get some of this stuff out, and you also just get more. You just kind of don't care. That old Phil Collins song. I love that song. You know,
I don't care no more.
I love it. God, I love it. When I was a kid, I remember one time I was a kid. We're driving in the car with my mom, and that song was about to come on. The DJ's talking. He's like, and he was giving the run up to the song. I don't care anymore. And he was like, and I think he even said, you know, like if you're talking to your mom, you just say attitude problem. No, I just don't care anymore. I don't know why.
It's probably that.
I mean, that was honestly, I'm 50. That might have been 40. I'm 53, almost 50. That might have been 40 years ago. The fact that I still remember that is just stupid. Other than Phil Collins is a legend.
I bet you anything you heard it on like KZEW.
No, I was up in our
Redbeard.
Yeah, it could have been Q102 Redbeard, Texas Best Rock. Anyways, we are talking about Stage 18. Alain, I'm so sorry for that diversion. What did we do today?
Stage 18 from Gap to Barcelonette. From Gap to Barcelonette.
It's like a small Barcelona. Incredible win by Victor Victor Campenarts. I don't know about y'all, but I love this guy. I love the way he rides. He's been around the sport for a long time. He had the hour record for a hot minute. He's kind of funny and witty and self-deprecating. His interviews, if you haven't watched any of his interviews, it's out of central casting. Yeah. I mean, he's got the porn stash. He has an extra large head and he wears an extra small helmet. I don't understand that part. I think it's part. He's always maximizing the aero stuff. He's one of the first guys to tinker with new positions and handlebars and where his hands and his elbows go. And it's just, but he's got a big engine and he won a stage. Not his first Grand Tour stage win, but.
Not only stage 18 winner, but by far, in my opinion, the most aggressive rider of the Tour de France. Yeah. I mean, you've seen him several days attacking from kilometer zero, which we always say back in our day was a pan cooking attack, TV attack. Not anymore. This guy just keeps going, doesn't quit.
He always, if you want to root for somebody that just tries all the time, he's your guy. He's always trying.
He's always in the hot box on a time trial, waiting for the top GC.
Yeah, he doesn't know easy. Like if it's a time trial, he goes hard. Yeah. He always feels like he has a shot.
And if he's in the break and gets caught, he's still leading out his teammates. Yeah. And he also chose this stage back in December.
That's what he said
for his interview after the race. So he's been thinking about this stage since December. What a hard Tour de France, and for him to still pull it off. He even said when the breakaway was going to go, he knew exactly where the breakaway was going to go. I mean, the guy is he's definitely one of those old school breakaway specialists.
Gotta love that. We'll get into all the action. And we have a special guest coming up right after this commercial break. Today's show brought to you by Roka. They have invented a completely new class of eyewear. Glasses optimized for performance. No other eyewear brand can keep up with what these guys are doing. They just keep making their stuff better and better. Their prescription glasses, a.k.a. my readers, which a.k.a. I am useless without, have the exact same technology as their performance sunglasses. I do keep these readers sort of stashed everywhere, backpacks, bedside tables, my pocket, car, golf bag. Like I'm telling you, I'm totally useless without them. The entire line is unbelievably lightweight, and you literally forget that they are on your face. Like, for example, check out these, what's up? Check out these titanium aviators. I mean, these are just, how dope do I look right now?
That's pretty good. Pretty good.
Oh my God. Ooh, I agree.
The only problem with the mirrored glasses is they can see golf on your screen.
Let me see. Can they really? That's actually kind of cool. All right. So can you guys see? Well, you know what? I really don't give a shit. By the way, first round of the Open today, Justin Thomas leading 300. And I do have a little screen right here just to watch. Here, Scotty Scheffler teeing off on 9. He's even. All you cycling people are like, we hate golf. But hey, I don't.
I think there's a lot of crossover.
Can I go back to Roca?
Yeah.
This, folks, this is why you don't skip the ads. Hand built in our hometown of Austin, Texas. The Move listeners get 20% off. Just go to Roca, ROKA.com. That's Roca.com. Use the code THEMOVE at checkout. We need some Rocas on some golfers. Also today brought to you by Element. George and I rode Independence Pass yesterday. I was about to die. All right. The guy, and we'll show some clips of this or some photos of it on the socials. I was a domestique extraordinaire.
I know. First time
he was barking at me. It was unbelievable. He was like, pick it up. And I was like, fuck, who's this guy talking to? But I was sweating like crazy, and I felt like crap the rest of the day because I went so hard. 1,000 milligrams of sodium, 200 milligrams of potassium, 60 milligrams of magnesium, no sugar, no gluten, no artificial ingredients, no BS. It is the real deal. And best of all, if you don't like it, just give it to a friend. Just pass it along. Element will refund you. Special offer. You can try out the free sample pack. It includes every flavor that they make. There's 8 of those. By the way, this offer is available for new and returning customers. That's interesting. Keep that in mind. So get your free 8-count sample pack with any Element purchase. Head on over to drinklmnt.com/themove and be sure to try the new Element Sparkling, a bold 16-ounce can of sparkling electrolyte water. Enjoy.
And don't miss my
Salty Revolution.
My premiere of my first short film of the Tour de France series, where we actually show how much you need
sweat
and how much you need this product. So don't miss it. It's on our socials.
Watch out, Spielberg. Watch out. Also today brought to you by AG1. Folks, let's take control of our health. I don't know if y'all been tracking me. I hope you have. I understand if you haven't. Fuck it. 6 months ago, I was like, I am about to take control of my health, whether that's addressing certain issues in my lifestyle, whether that's hitting the gym, whether it's just wanting to get fit, or just doubling down on my morning routine. And a big part of my morning routine is AG1. It is a foundational nutrition supplement that delivers daily nutrients and gut health support and is backed by multiple research studies, so you can trust what you're putting into your body. I trust it. Unlike so many other products, their entire formula is backed by research studies, not just the ingredients. By the way, they have tweaked this formulation like 80 times just to keep optimizing the best formulation for us. If there's one product I trust to put to support my whole body health, it is AG1. And that's why I partnered with them for so long. It's easy and satisfying to start your journey. Try AG1 and get a free 1-year supply of vitamin D3, K2, plus 5 free AG1 travel packs with your first purchase. Head on over to drinkag1.com/TDF. That's drinkag1.com/TDF. We're in the 3rd week. I mean, this stuff's getting hard. We got a special guest.
Yeah, is he in yet or not?
I don't know.
Gabriel, is he in?
Okay, so let me just a little lead into this.
Yeah, do it. Lead it.
So Victor Campenaerts wins the stage today. He is. There's a lot of storylines here, right? This is we already said it. It's a guy we love to cheer for. He always tries. He's got a funny demeanor. Lotto DSTNY has not won a stage. Plays into that's one of the teams. That's not one of the teams, in my opinion, that had to win a stage. Now there are a lot of teams that have to win a stage, and they're going home empty-handed. This is just a nice have. This is a nice to have for Lotto.
They were very close with Delete. They were many times.
He was. He will win. This kid's got big talent.
It's coming.
But driving behind Victor Campenaerts, because for those who don't know, teams have 2 cars in the race, right? You have the main car with the main director that sits behind the peloton. Anytime there's a breakaway, that second car, which is sitting further back and behind everybody, jumps up and follows the breakaway. Well, driving car 2 today was our old friend Dirk Demol. Now, for you folks who followed cycling for a long time, Dirk Demol won Paris-Roubaix. It was an epic finish and a very interesting finish. But he was, and for those who followed the Postal and Discovery days, Dirk was Johan's right-hand man. And while Johan was a genius and certainly a dear friend of mine, he was serious. And Dirk was always this guy like, come on, man, it's okay, buddy. And Johan would be like, hey, fuck you, that sucks. And Dirk would come up.
Break the tension.
Hey, it's okay, man. We got, Dirk was the life of the party.
The cheerleader of the team.
He was the cheerleader. He was great for the morale. And he was running the tactics and the stuff for Victor Campenarts today. So great to have Dirk Demol on. Dirk, and we used to call him. Well, I won't say.
Hey, Dirk.
I won't say. Look at him. Look at him.
He gets younger every year.
Man, the guy is reverse aging.
Yes. Congratulations, Dirk.
Thank you. I'm just shining. It's so great to be here again, part of a tour stage win. Again, I had such a great time with you guys, Lance, George. Also, I remember the day that I was behind you, George, when you won the mountain stage there.
Yeah.
Pereiro and Michael Boer.
Yep. Yeah. So I mean, and it's great to have you on because you not only were a master tactician, but you were always so optimistic. You were always so encouraging with us, even if we didn't look great. I talked to us about how you talked to Victor today in the radio, and what'd you tell him the whole ride?
Well, to be honest, Victor is. He was talking already about the tour in January, so I'm new in the team. And I did my loop in the rooms with everybody, like having a chat individual, a couple minutes, 2 minutes, 5 minutes. And I believe I was like a half an hour in the room with Victor, because Victor is a super professional guy. And when he has something in mind, he just go for it. And he was actually talking about he has one open dream, and that was a stage win in the tour.
Yeah.
And look, he did it today. Wow, eh?
But also, it's not like he's been saving to this day. He's been in the breakaways almost every day. He attacks from kilometer zero. He doesn't conserve energy, and he still wins today. Talk to us about that.
Yeah, exactly. So he's already weeks on a super high level.
Yeah.
Since he became father, he's a super happy man, and so he's in the national champions, by example, where Arnaud de Vie became national champion. He was the whole day in the early breakaway. We go them like 25, 30 to go.
Yeah.
25, 30 to go, and he was still pulling in the final, full gas.
Yeah.
And also here, he's a very good road captain, very important for Arnaud de Vie also, every day, day after day. And also, he knew that he had some chances for the stage, but also sometimes I think, why is he attacking again from the gun? Why? He just played it for a couple of times.
Yeah.
But today he was talking about today already days ago, because we had in mind coming here, the half of the peloton, half of the teams going home without a stage win.
Yeah.
So when we wanted to have stage win, and our best chances were with Arnaud de Vie, who finished 5 times top 5, and also with Maxime Van Hils, who is unfortunately already home. And today were the stages that were pointing out for Maxime, and being supported from Victor.
Yeah.
And Maxime gone, Victor say, but okay, I'm gonna be there. And even in the stage today, he was mentioning, they're gonna start attacking from far, but they're just gonna keep an eye on Kwiatkowski, because he's the guy.
Really?
And he did.
Yeah.
He does seem. I mean, I agree with you, because Kwiatkowski obviously on Team Ineos. I was just saying before you came on how this is a great a nice a bonus for you guys. But a team like Ineos with $40-50 million budget, no stage wins. Yeah, you look at a guy like Kwiatkowski and you say, or that team, like, this team has to win a stage. Like, let's be honest. It's an embarrassment if they don't leave with at least a stage win. But he does seem, to me, he's your stereotypical, and don't take this the wrong way, Dirk. He is your stereotypical Belgian bike racer, which means he's probably been racing bikes since he was 6 or 7 years old. He knows how the races, he knows how to see and feel and find his way through the peloton into the breaks. But the thing I love about him the most, and this is just what I can watch on television, the dude is always he always tries. By the way, he had the hour record, so he has a big engine, so he can try. There's a lot of guys that want to try and can't try. I mean, people in prison try, right? But Victor Campenarts has the engine, and he always tries, and he's smart. And last thing, I love that porn star mustache more than anything. That made him sigh. That just knocked him out right there.
But Dirk, are you still there? We still got him on?
Dirk still there?
Dirk? Frozen for a second. He froze. Okay.
It almost sounded for a second like Victor Campenaert's new baby was in the room with Dirk.
Do we lose him? Okay. Well, if we...
I'm still on?
Okay. Yeah,
yep.
you're there.
Yes.
I'm still on.
Dirk.
Yeah, also, we mentioned the final... you know that his wife is Nell, and she's watching the race, and the coach now with his son Gustav in the arms, already watching. They know you're going to win. You're going to do it today, and this is what I mentioned to him last 10K.
Yeah. That's amazing. Dirk, I want to talk about that last kilometer because we all know you're in the breakaway. That's one of the hardest parts, but the race isn't over till it's over, and it's 3 guys. And it could have gone so much different had Kwiatkowski not chased down this Vergy guy. You got to risk losing it all to win the stage. And we saw Cavendish just stay on Kwiatkowski's wheel, make him chase him down because there was a slight hesitation there for a second, and it could have been all over. What are you saying on the radio at that point? I know it's crunch time, probably not much to say within the final 700 meters, but that had to be in a super stressful moment for you and for him, hoping that Kwiatkowski actually chases him down.
Yeah, that's true. But you have to gamble on a certain point, and also Kwiatkowski wanted to so much that stage, and we keep repeating that just stay calm, be confident, and to be honest, also Victor was confident if it comes to a sprint with 2 or 3 guys. I'm going to do it. I'm going to win. So, but of course, you have to gamble a little bit, and luckily for him that Kwiatkowski react on that. But also, we have to say the last kilometer we don't say anything anymore because we are in the car. Television is always a bit behind, and also we have no TV coverage anymore once we come in the final streets to the houses and everything. So we're losing contact, and we just say, okay, just follow your intuition. And just do it.
Dirk, I want to be clear on what I thought I heard you say. Did you say he was very confident he would win the sprint of those 3 guys?
Yes.
That's just because on paper and on watching the race, he's not the favorite to win. But this is what I love about this guy. Because there is this interaction, and I get it. The directors, at some point, leave the riders alone and say, okay, good luck, do your best, go for it, whatever. But for him to say, no, I got this. Come on, man. I love cheering for this guy.
It's pretty awesome. We were very happy to see him win. Congratulations, Dirk.
Good.
Okay, Dirk.
Thank you, Dirk. Get some rest. Thank you very much.
Congratulations.
Say congrats to the boys.
Bye-bye.
All right, ciao.
I noticed something that says a lot about how much everybody likes this guy. And I don't know if this is common. You guys would know. The whole team pretty much was out with the fans when he went up on the podium. They were still in their kits, still with their bikes. They weren't cooling down. They weren't.
That's not normal.
No,
they were all there.
That's an exception to the rule. And that shows you how much they look up to him, and for all the things we've just talked about, that's the reason why. He's been around the peloton for a long time. He gives it his all. It clearly seems like a kind of a lovable, sweet guy. And that was pure love.
And just races on heart and feeling. Like Dirk said, even the team questions, why is he attacking every day from kilometer 0? Well, he's not quitting, and that's his style of racing. And I think he's not planning on changing anything.
Now, we'd be remiss if what Kwiatkowski was doing, again, a team in Ineos that has this massive budget that is so used to not being in the third week and trying to, desperately try to win a stage. This is a team in its DNA expects to come, or in the past has expected to come and walk home with the yellow jersey. They don't have any stage wins. I don't understand, and I'm a huge Michael Kwiatkowski fan. Keep in mind, he was on Radio Shack with us. Also keep in mind, our colleague, Johan Brunel, was the one who spotted him. He's the one who said, this kid has huge talent. He's done 14 years in the peloton. He's been a world champion. He's done a lot of things. He's won classics. For the life of me, I don't understand what he was thinking in that sprint.
Many times our superpowers can be our weakness. And for instance, Kwiatkowski has won Milan-San Remo against a sprint against Peter Sagan, who at the time was one of the best sprinters in the world. He's world champion. He clearly came into this last kilometer with a ton of confidence. I mean, he was controlling it at the front. He was the first to jump after the French guy. He just was full of confidence, which today hurt him because Campenaerts was also confident and had that speed and has the leg speed from all the lead outs he's doing for Arnold Delis, and that confidence hurt him today, unfortunately, in that finale.
I think I agree with that. If you go back and look at I'll just pull it up, the stage's last kilometers, he had plenty of opportunities to take advantages. There you go, right there, of the bends in the road. He knows where those bends are in the final. Look, there's a kilometer to go. That's less than 300 meters to go. You have the road started to bend and twist. He should have known to keep them on the outside, and he shouldn't have waited to 180 meters to go to start the sprint. Somebody's going to, I mean, if they're going to see that, a guy with power like Campenaerts, like you can't, and they were not going fast. He can't match that power. And you saw it. I mean, Campenaerts, when he steps on the pedal, again, reminder, this guy's had the hour record. He can push some watts. And so I was, for the life of me, I was watching going, dude, you got to get going. Like, you can win this thing, but
he did a lot of work at the end, no doubt. He was super confident, perhaps overconfident. But I think in one of these finishes, he's going to look back and say, I think I did all I can. There wasn't much I could have done differently. He beat me handedly. I mean, we've all gotten second places before where it's like, well, shit, I could have done this. I could have done that. I probably could have won. Or the other times you got second place. I did everything I could, and the guy was just better. He was faster. And I think that's the situation we have tonight for Kwiatkowski.
Yeah. Well, how about Matteo Verschier?
Yeah. Young kid, never won a pro bike race.
He's up against these two seasoned veterans, so he goes early. Didn't work. Okay, he tried, regroups, and still gets second, out sprinting Kwiatkowski. I was laughing at how he says it. Now I can't say it.
And getting into arguably one of the hardest breakaways to make in the whole Tour de France. I mean, everybody wanted to make that breakaway. 35 guys made it. 3 guys rode away from those guys. So and crashed in the neutral zone.
So
what a day he had.
That's a shitty day. A shitty way to start your day. You crash in the neutral zone, and then all of a sudden they start attacking like gangbusters, and you find yourself in the move.
Yep.
But point being, I mean, all 3 of these guys are super easy to cheer. You got to cheer for the kid who's never won a pro bike race before. Just a bunch of likable studs up there. By the way, Victor Campenaerts, he did talk about it in his post-race interview. He did allude to this being his last year on Lotto. I did not know where he's going, so of course I asked the one guy who knows everything, asked Johan. He is headed to Visma Lease Bike, which I think is interesting, right? I mean, I think that's a good hire. Here's a guy who can ride on the front all day long, and off the bike and in the bus, at the dining table, in the hotel rooms, is going to keep the morale up. That's a good hire for Visma. We'll talk about tomorrow's stage, but before we do, today's show also brought to you by Ketone IQ. We often hear that fasting and exercise are good for the brain. HVMN launched the world's first drinkable ketone in 2017. Ketone IQ is their latest innovation on ketones with improved effectiveness, taste, and cost. Ketone IQ delivers clean fuel that can cross the blood-brain barrier, supplying your brain and body sustained energy, focus, and sharpness. They, speaking of Visma Lease Bike, they have an exclusive partnership with Visma Lease Bike and doing a ton of research in and around ketones and the application of 30% off your first subscription order plus a free 6-pack when you use the link ketone.com/themove. Also today, brought to you by Honey Stinger, my old friends at Honey Stinger. I've had a partnership with this company since 2008, and I remember when they first called me. They did not make the Stroop waffle. They made a bunch of great products, gels, chews, some bars, and I had spent my entire career racing on these Stroop waffles that we would buy down. I don't even know the names of grocery stores in Europe, but the soigneurs would go buy me these Stroop waffles. I'm like, nah, just give me Stroop waffles. So I started hanging out with Honey Stinger, and I said, guys, let's make a Stroop waffle, and it changed the game, right? It was the very first Stroop waffle here in the United States. They've got tons of different, I didn't envision that we would have so many different flavors and variations on the Stroop waffle. And by the way, the Stroop waffle, and if you're talking about energy sources, and we spend a lot of time talking about nutrition and how these riders are fueling themselves, the data will show you that the Stroop waffle, believe it or not, is one of the best fuel sources you can use for endurance sports. And it tastes good. And by the way, part whatever 3 that is, great for your kids. Like these kids grabbing all this other crap. Give them a stroopwafel. All organics, healthy. Head on over to honeystinger.com/themove. Check out all their products, including my favorite, the waffle. Our listeners get 25% off your first order at honeystinger.com. Use the code THEMOVE. honeystinger.com. The code is THEMOVE. George, guess who's back?
Who?
Our friends over at The Feed are back to keep us hydrated and fueled throughout the Tour de France.
Mosca.
So here's the thing about The Feed, and I say it every year. The Feed has been with us for a long time.
Yes, they have.
And I literally kick myself that I didn't think of this idea. It's simply that good of an idea.
We're both kicking ourselves.
Yeah. I mean, how much do you get sick of eating the same? We're 2.5, almost 3 weeks in. How much are you sick of eating the same stuff day in, day out?
Oh yeah, I mean, you just get bored of the same thing day in, day out. It's especially this time in the race, 3 weeks in, it becomes rougher and rougher.
Well, The Feed is back, and for those who don't know, it is the largest online marketplace for sports nutrition. You can pretty much buy whatever you want in that space.
I love that you can buy single servers of everything. When I get my feed box, I usually have at least 5 different gels and a couple different hydration packs.
The Feed will have some pretty great deals for all 21 stages of the tour, starting with their Tour de France pack.
Yes, I just got mine. I got like 10, 11 products in my feed bag. Check this out. I got some of my favorites. Like you mentioned earlier, I got the
Let me take your
waffle bar.
Let me take your
Honey Stinger waffle bar.
Yeah.
Just a bunch of cool stuff. The bottles, water bottles.
Let me see that bottle. That's actually pretty sick.
Check that out. Yeah, really cool stuff. I mean, and I love the variety that you can choose from.
Dear Feed, y'all need to send us some of these. So I can count better than George. That's 11 products for $21, about 50% off. You get your Feed Musette bag and the limited tour bottle. All you got to do is head on over to thefeed.com. You'll see it right there on the landing page, thefeed.com. Send me a bottle, Feed. Let's talk about tomorrow. We can look at tomorrow. I don't think anybody in the peloton really wants to look at tomorrow's stage.
No, it's going to be rough.
These guys are cooked. The race seems to be settled. Now, look, anything can happen. Anything can. You still have to ride to the finish line, so anything can happen. This is a nasty day, right? And here we are. This will be 3 days from the finish in Nice. 4,400 meters of total vert, which is whatever that is, 13.2. And I just went through, and you see it's a short stage. It's 144 kilometers. All you really see are 3 long climbs. I just went in and totaled up how many kilometers of just climbing there are. There's 58 kilometers. So I already mentioned the vert, but just 58 kilometers of going uphill. George, you and I rode the pass yesterday.
We did like a
12 miles. I mean, it's
like 20 miles. That's where you kind of screwed me over and told me it was like 2 miles to go. It was actually 5 miles to go. Oh. And you lived here for how many years?
Here's the thing. I was never paid to be a domestique. I didn't name I never had a hotel, but if I did, I didn't name it domestique. I'm a leader. And so you expect me like out of the blue to jump up there and be a domestique and know all this stuff. You say, pick it up, go faster, move right, move left. I'm like,
yeah, we did get to document that, which I can't wait to see it. But we are crossing one team.
He was like barking at me.
We are crossing one team off that list of teams that have not won a stage. Lotto, congratulations. You are officially off of our list. And the rest
How
of these
many teams are left on that list?
So, I mean, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I'm not going to name because you make fun of me. But
we got to take EF off that list, too.
We still got 10, 11 teams without a win.
So half.
Oh, we got EF. So we got 10 teams.
All right, roughly half of the teams in the tour are going to leave empty-handed.
Yeah,
and that's a big story and a big storyline. The other one is the ones who have won have been sort of these underdog teams to date. I mean, Lotto. There are a handful of these truly underdog teams in the Tour de France. Intermarché, Lotto. Direct Energy, I mean, these are teams that here, let me put it this way. These are teams that get excited to get invited to the Tour de France, right? Then you go down the list of all the other bigs. They're going to go home empty-handed. It's a disaster.
And a lot
of
these teams on this list have some great climbers. We saw today with Kwiatkowski, with Ineos, and then we have, of course, the Decathlon's got some good climbers. Red Bull has Jai Hindley. So there's going to try to be a huge breakaway tomorrow again. And we'll see if any of these favorites, the GC guys, want to actually go for the win, fight for more time in the GC. In fact, Pogačar called tomorrow perhaps the Queen stage of the Tour de France.
He did?
He did. So there's going to be tons of action tomorrow. It should be fun to watch.
Or, you just wonder at some point, or do the guys just, by the way, the day after is even more, I mean, this just, you can't even look ahead at this point in the Tour. Tomorrow's 4,400 meters of total vertical gain. The next day, the day before a time trial, 4,600. That's the Queen stage. It's hard to look at.
And a bunch of different things going on within the race. Now you have guys that are just trying to make it to Nice, like our buddy Cav. He gets instantly in a group of his guys, his teammates, and perhaps a few other guys, and they just ride their pace to the finish. They're just trying to make it to Nice. Guys that need to make the breakaway, guys that are trying to protect their top 10 spot in the overall, guys going for the point sprints. I mean, there's all kinds of different scenarios going on within one race right now.
And JB, you asked about Cav when we were watching the race.
Yeah, it was cool watching him come in with his teammates. I mean, they're basically pulling him around the back of the bus to get to Nice to celebrate, like truly celebrate and retire. And then I was thinking about it because I think if you've been following the last 4 or 5 years, you remember what Cavendish thought was his last race. That was 4 years ago. Right. He had finished the race. He was in tears. And look at this now.
He was lost. At least he looked lost. Literally, like, where do I go right now? Just in the moment, but also where do I go right now in my career and in life? And to see him now, 4 years later, boy, what a difference. That was, they did a great moment on that in his documentary, which is on Netflix. It's
great moment.
But he's got to get him through these next 2 days.
But funny thing is, I rode with him last year in Nice. I don't know if I told the story yet, but we rode from Monaco to Nice one day. We're just doing a fun ride. And I go, bro, imagine next year in your last Tour de France. I mean, this is one of the most picturesque places on earth. You live there. You can agree with me. And you're doing a time trial. Nobody cares if you finish an hour behind the winner. It's the last stage. You're just going to be able to wave to the crowd along the, I mean, it's going to be epic. And he looked at me. He's like, bro, the day I win my stage, I'm done. So last year in September, he's like, I win my stage, I'm going home. And I go, and I thought, you know what? I don't believe him because like our boss here on the side, he says a lot of shit he doesn't mean at times. And you can see out of respect for one of the greatest sporting events in the world, he's going to do everything he can to get to that finish line and give a proper goodbye to his fans.
It shows you how classy he is. He doesn't need to hang in there.
This is a year that doesn't end with the sprint in Paris.
Yep.
He's not a threat whatsoever.
So the pressure's not there either. You can just kind of, he's going to have a tough time getting there. He'll make it because he's got a great group behind him. It's going to be very hard, lots of suffering. But you know what? I know it from a fact. If it's your last 3 days of suffering in Tour de France, you're going to kind of embrace it. And you're going to go, you know what? I'm going to soak in every moment I can because I'm never going to do this again. And just be grateful.
Yeah, the crowds were cheering him as if it was the lead group. It was amazing.
Look, the top GC guys, they don't want to, I'm sitting here looking at the profiles still. They don't want to look at these 2 days. So imagine being a true field sprinter, a guy like Mark Cavendish. Just don't look at the race book, Cav. Just run on that energy you got going and get to the finish. But it does show how professional and how classy he is and how much of a legend he is. He easily could have gone home. Nobody would have faulted him for going home. And he said it. I mean, he could have just said, well, that was the plan. He stayed in there with his team, the guys who helped him, and dude's a legend. Sir Mark Cavendish, by the way.
Sir Mark Cavendish.
Guys are rubbing elbows with royalty lately.
So, we had Sir Bradley Wiggins, Sir Mark Cavendish.
Yeah.
Hey, there's something else I wanted to bring up. I was thinking about, not long ago we were talking about Magnus Court doing these hotel room rate rankings, which is very funny. And then we were talking about Campenarts a bit ago. You look on his socials, and they're, he and his roommate are checking in with, their fan base every evening from the hotel room, which is super cool. And it just got me thinking about all these current riders. They're on their devices. They're connected to their families. We saw Campenarts, FaceTiming with his girlfriend and newborn. And then it made me think about you guys in your era. So let's imagine having all these devices and connections to your audience and all that. Go back to your era. You didn't have any of that at your disposal.
We did. We had I mean, we are old, but we had laptops, we had early iterations of phones. But here's the thing: let us just not say anything. Ask Johan about it on JB Square.
Okay,
just
right.
ask him that question, because it's pretty shock. Like he was such a hardline guy on certain things, but ask him that. Like this will be hilarious.
Let him answer that entire question.
Well, I mean, spoiler alert, like we weren't allowed to communicate to the outside world, but I want to get his perspective. I want to hear what he has to say about that.
We will do that. We will do that.
People are like sneaking in phones. Don't tell Johan.
I was that guy for a long time on the radio show. Don't bring your phones in here. And then it just inevitably you have to give up, right? Let's do Ventum Trivia real quick. Giving away a brand new
Dia's coming. Dia's coming to town pretty soon. He's going to read. I think he's going to read off the winner. Did I hear that? I think Bolchka told me that.
Nice.
That'd be nice.
I was wondering where he was this year. But yesterday's question on Ventum Trivia was, what is Egan Bernal's nickname?
Oh, yeah. We didn't know.
There's a few of them. El Nino.
A Nino.
Yeah.
The boy.
Because he has,
we can come up with something. Keep going. He needs a few of them if that's the only one so far.
There's a couple other that we would accept. The golden beetle.
Okay, I think we should keep trying also.
The condor of Zipaquira.
That's Zipaquira, which I actually visited this winter. It's spectacular. They have these salt mine church underground in his hometown. It's spectacular. If you're ever in Colombia, right outside of Bogota, I highly suggest visiting that.
Hey, oh, there you go. Get your travel agent back on. She's funny.
Yeah, we can get a trip down to the salt mines in Colombia. Get Babs on here. Babs, you ever send anybody to Colombia? Yeah. Real quick on the Bernal thing. I hate to keep talking about Ineos or reflecting or they have to go back to the drawing board. This is something's up. That's not normal for them. Anyways.
Today's question. It is widely known Remco Evenepoel was a star soccer player before his cycling career. What other endurance event did he complete in 2016?
Yep. I think I know the answer to this.
And a bonus if you know the time.
Yep. So it's a timed event, so that kind of gives some of it away. But
pretty impressive.
There are a lot. He's not the only one that uses this sport for training and has competed in this sport. It's pretty interesting. I find it fascinating. And they'll do this sport throughout the season, which I grew up also doing some of this sport. I never would have done it during the cycling season.
VentumRacing.com/TheMove. Submit your answer. Okay. And a couple of quick comments and questions for you guys. This came in yesterday, and yesterday you guys rode the pass, correct?
Yep.
Yeah. All right.
Legs still feel it.
Someone wrote in and said, I saw on today's ride that George received 500 plus kudos and Lance got 2,100 plus kudos.
Ouch.
Seems like George is getting the short end of the stick on the love.
Well, I think, and I'm just...
Lance was an early adopter to Strava, by the way, and so I actually have no... doesn't hurt my feelings one bit. He should get more kudos. He is a legend.
I'm actually up to just shy of 4,000 kudos on Strava for the ride yesterday. But I'm surprised too. Like, I looked I looked yesterday when you told me this about the kudos, JB. I was like, well, how many followers do I have? And I looked on there. It's like 219,000. I'm like, what? Y'all need to know. Like, it's not. I'm not that interesting. Like, you're not coming on my page to see anything very epic. Like, it's just a 53-year-old guy just winging it, a couple hours a day. But I appreciate it. But it's just, be forewarned. Like, there is no more epic shit in my life, right? I'm just
We'll find some epic rides to do. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it.
How many kudos you got yesterday?
Not many. Not
I have 4,000.
I know it.
Just look.
Give me some love, guys, on Strava.
No. See, this is how the thing turns around. No.
Please,
everybody. Oh God. Okay.
All right. I thought you guys would get a kick out of this photo. I've been in France for a few days riding the routes. This was a restaurant in the Start Village this morning. Thanks and for all the great content.
Discovery
and
jersey there, and a Postal jersey, and a Motorola.
and
all your teams.
And
Whoa.
Radio Shack.
I didn't even get that for a second.
And an old 5500 up on top.
My goodness. And look at that. It's clear. It's either a wine bar or a wine store. CVINS. That means wines. Wow.
There's an Astana jersey. Look at those ones on the bottom.
Hey,
That's a cool little
That's kind of
place.
cool. Thanks a lot.
Tom Galvani sent that in. Thank you very much.
Awesome.
This is a good question. George might know a bit about this. How does a new team get started? Is it just about raising the money, or like the NFL, do you need a charter from somewhere? It's a good question.
Yeah,
I think someone could crowdfund an All-American team.
Certainly can crowdfund one.
Yep.
You can start a team, but you can't just jump into the Pro Tour team anymore. You have to buy one of those licenses or get granted one, and they're in 3 or 4 year cycles now. So those are becoming harder and harder to come by, and it's not just about money now. You actually have to have the license, or you buy a team. You can't just jump into the top 20 teams in the world anymore.
You know, is it Johan told us, or maybe you did, George, but like that Chinese company buying into Astana.
Yeah, exactly. That's
can
how
do it
they
that
did
way?
it. Yep,
Yeah.
they can do it that way.
Kind of do
Feels
it in
more
our-
like a sponsorship, but
Yeah.
you could, however
buy
they
in.
structure it, some mix of the two. But
But if you want to get rich, owning a cycling team's where it's at, right?
no, I mean that's like what do they say about wineries? You know, how do you become a millionaire? You start as a billionaire and buy a winery.
Yeah.
It's probably similar for cycling. By the way, Liz Kreutz now is wearing the Whippet hat. If y'all weren't on the pre-show with the members, you should. A lot of fun stuff happens on this members-only pre-show, including a very phallic hat that somebody dropped off here at the studio. And turns out Liz Kreutz actually has a Whippet. This Whippet hat she got. Should I just show? I feel like I should just tease it out because not everybody was on the member show. Look at, I mean, y'all want to be, I mean, parents, put your kids away. I mean, what's going on with this Whippet? I mean,
Liz is running away.
she has a Whippet. She has a dog. I didn't even know that was a thing.
Carrie Horn.
Carrie, what? Who?
Carry on.
Carrie Horn. Yeah, Carrie Horn sent this out. I bet she did. Look at this. No, I'm sorry, Carrie. No, that was sweet. And you wrote a nice note. All right, you know what? I take that back. We're in the third week. All right, stuff comes out. But does your whip it like this, Liz? Seriously, all right, get
New
this thing
meaning
out of here.
to like wiener dog.
Yeah, and I thought the F-bombs got us in trouble. I mean, what are they going to say now? Oh, my Lord. Carrie Horn, thank you.
All right, one more question. This is for George, and it's a good one. I thought this is fun. Longtime listener from Australia here, been listening since the days of the Airstream. My question's for George. Having ridden for different styles of team leader at the Tour, Lance being GC and Cav being a sprinter, which type of leader is more demanding and requires the most energy on your behalf?
All right, guys, I got to run. I'm late for a call.
It's an interesting
It's a great question, but I do have a call I got to get to. So you guys, y'all wrap the show. Go ahead, George.
That's from Scott.
I'm just kidding.
Arguably, they're very similar, albeit in the sprint stages. They're not all every day in the Tour de France, whereas Lance being the GC leader, you had to be on, ready to go every day, not make a mistake. Where with Cav, on those sprint stages, yeah, everything was dialed in. He would study the map. He wanted to know exactly where we were at all times and was as demanding as Lance. But Lance was like that for 21 days. Cav would be like 4, 5, 6 days maximum. So I'd say similar in the days that it mattered.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. But even you would have to keep us, even if it wasn't a field sprint day. Imagine the last the days we've seen the last 2 days. It's not uncommon to have that in the first half of the tour, where it's frantic and crazy and there are crashes going on. You still have to protect them then because look, I mean, in a normal year, you're finishing in Paris. You're like, we got to get this kid to Paris. You got to protect them those days too. Even if it's not.
They asked about me. That wasn't my job.
I was asking you too.
Yeah.
that wasn't
for
your
sure.
job.
We had guys that were designated to be with Cav in the beginning of the stages, take care of them. But but me, it was in the last 1 kilometer.
Okay.
Where you was, if it was dangerous, I'd be with you, even if it was in the beginning.
Right. There's a whole class thing with the teams. I didn't even know that, but George is like,
Says the guy that never rode the bus with us. Had his own car. Anyway.
That's true.
Hey, the move at WeDo.team. Send your questions.
Yeah, we're getting close, folks. We got 3 days left?
Yeah.
Man.
3 or 4 days. Today's Thursday. You're right. 3 days.
3 days. 2 brutal mountain days. Final time trial.
I'm curious what Remco can do.
No, it's look, I think it's easy to look at this and say, well, this is going to be sort of neutralized and the race is over. But it's getting hot. The vert is insane. People have to try. Well, even if they're trying, look, Remco has to. I'm assuming he's going to want to try to jump Vingegaard. Like, we're going to see some action there.
And Vingegaard is going to want to come out of the Tour on even if he doesn't win, he's going to want to come out on a high and a little bit of a mental edge, going, you know what? I had the worst possible build up to this Tour de France, but I won a stage, and then I was super strong in that last couple of stages when it counts. I still can win the Tour de France next year. I think mentally that's going to be really important for him and his team to try to do something in the next 2 days.
All right, everybody. Thanks for tuning in. See you all in the morning.